Hello, this is Barbara. Welcome to Around the WNBA. I have a couple things to say, a few things to say, anyways. One is about Dewana Bonner. There are rumors all around about what's going on with her, what's not going on with her, whether she's still with the fever or not, and is she going to come back or not. Who knows? The coach is saying basically that they're taking a day by day basis and that they support her. And that's what we have. Now, if we want to speculate, there's two things I want to say about that. One is if she does come back, that she comes back as that player who played with Connecticut, who was scoring points and was confident. She didn't think about whether or not to put the ball in the hoop back then. So if she does come back, I want her to be more aggressive and more about getting the buckets and production. All right. Now, the other half of this is if she doesn't come back, then I wish her well to whatever endeavors that she might have going on for herself. Hopefully, it'll still be connected to basketball. But if not, I wish her well. So those are the two things that I'm hopeful for, either which way. Now, if she doesn't come back, who will replace her? She's a big. So it would make sense for Indiana to replace her with a big, given that Timpson doesn't play very often or not at all, and given that they don't really need McDonald. They don't really need McDonald right now. Although she would be an asset to have anyways because she can run the floor. She could be a point guard that can take the place of Caitlin if need be in terms of if she needs to have a break or what have you. And she's a scorer and she's a good defender. So we'd love to have McDonald to come back. But I'm thinking, what does the team need in terms of to make it a whole team? They need to have another big, especially because Dantas is going to be going pretty soon. And so we need another big in there under the basket. Just my thoughts. But I don't know what's going to happen with the Warner. No one really knows. We'll know when we know, pretty much. And we hope that whatever it is, that we hope that she's going to get through whatever's going on and that she will be well. Now, I want to talk to you about the game of the Dallas Wings and the Washington Mystics. That was a good game. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was a good game. But specifically, I just want to talk about Citron and Kiki Erfin and Paige Beckers along with James on the Wings. They are a few rookies that are making their names known. Citron is so calm and just hits those buckets, is a good defender, and just an all around good player. Kiki, same thing. Can get the buckets, get into the paint, wrestle with the best of them, and get the bucket. And is not afraid to be aggressive and rough. You have these two individuals, these two players on the Washington Mystics that are playing like they've been on it forever. And I don't know if you watch them, but they've been just going off. All right. And then we have Paige Beckers. She's doing what Paige does. She's getting the buckets. She's a high scorer, and she is, doing her thing on the court now. She's calmed down more, and she's more just into her flow. And then we have James, who is not afraid to get into the grit of the game, up and down the court, can get the buckets, and really is a good defender. So you have these players, that are doing really well. And when I watched the game of the Wings against the Mystics, it was a battle. You had two teams that wanted to win, and you could see that throughout the whole play. None of them gave up. None of them, even though they might have been tired going the way through, you really couldn't see that because they were still flying up and down the court. Okay, they were still going up, trying to get that rebound. They were wanting to win, and that was a good game. Okay, and it actually ended up in overtime where Citron shot the three-pointer that ended the game, and they won. The Mystics won. Let's just go over a couple of their stats. Okay, in the first quarter, it was 14-27 Mystics. Second quarter, 31-13 Wings. The third quarter, 24-22 Wings. The fourth quarter, 15-22 Mystics. In overtime, it was 4 points for the Wings and 7 points for the Mystics. It ended up being a score of 88-91. So the Mystics won with 91 points. And the key players of that game were Enrique, who scored 27 points, and Citron, who scored 27 points. Citron had 9 of 13 field goals, and Enrique had 8 of 20. She made 8 of 9 of her free throws, and Citron made 5 out of 7 of her free throws. So that's pretty good. That was pretty good. The Washington Mystics, all right? And their starters were Austin, who had earned 21 points, Kiki, who earned 19 points, Sykes, who had 8 points, Sutton, who had 15 points, and Citron, who had 27 points. Citron had 4 out of 7 3-pointers, and Sutton had 3 out of 3. And then we have the bench scorers, where Melbourne had 1 point. Wings. The starters were Hines Allen, and Smith had 7 points. Enrique had 27 points. Beckers had 20 points. And James had 11 points. James shot 2 of 4 3-pointers. Beckers had 1 of 4 3-pointers. Enrique had 3 of 9 3-pointers shot. The bench, we had Quinterly, who scored 8 points, Charles, who scored 9 points, and Lee, who scored 6. Quinterly is another one to watch out for because she's someone that is aggressive and is also a grit player. We had Seacrest, who's out with a knee injury, Harris, who's out with a knee injury, Carrington has a rib injury, and Jones was out because of a coach's decision. The Mystics, Moore is still out with her ACL. She'll probably be out for the whole season. And Kone was out for the reasons of a coach's decision. Those players on that team, those rookies on the Dallas Wings and on the Washington Mystics are playing ball. They are balling. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is the primary thing, is that tonight we have Indiana Fever versus Seattle Storm. Now, like I said before, and I'll say it again, the Seattle Storm is a team you don't want to sleep on. They are a team who, from start to finish, they're aggressive. They are a team that's consistent. They are a team that likes to battle. And so if the Indiana Fever go in there and they're not aggressive and they're not ready for battle and they're not consistent and they are not going to play hard from beginning to the end, then they will lose. They will lose. My hope is that they've watched the tape. They have understand what they need to do because of their past mistakes with other teams, and know that they cannot afford to be soft. They cannot afford to be scattered. They cannot afford to not communicate. They got to do all those things. They got to communicate. They got to hold the pace. They have to defend. They have to be aggressive. They got to be gritty, and they must be consistent. They must do it from the start of the game to the finish of the game. No giving up. They must play with confidence. And I'm talking about everyone from CC to all her teammates have to play with confidence. There should be no waiting about or wondering about, should I take that shot, that 3-pointer? Should I, go here? No, there should be no wondering about any of that. If there's a shot available, take it. Am I right? Okay. So that game is today. It's going to be at 10 p.m. And my hope is that the winner will be the Indiana Fever. Go Fever. All right, that's it for now. And like always, if you enjoy the content and you like my perspective, subscribe. Subscribe. And also give me a thumbs up because that's helpful to me as well. And don't forget to tap on that little bell so that you can be reminded of new content when it arrives. So, like I said, Indiana Fever versus the Storm tonight at 10 p.m. Go Fever. So until the next time, my name is Barbara, around the WNBA. Talk to you soon. Peace.